Can you people believe it? The 2025 season is officially here, and Josiah and I are going to break it all down for you on a Monday night. Good evening, my fine folk. How are we doing on a Monday? Nice holiday Monday, a Labor Day Monday. So this season is officially here. It is game week. And in 3 days, Thursday Night Football will be happening, which normally I don't care as much about Thursday Night Football, but it's the first game of the season, which means Titans are just around the corner. So that said, we got to bring in my brother so he can chit-chat. We can discuss a little Tennessee Titans football.
Hello, everybody. It's good, exciting time to be an NFL fan. It's game week, and unlike my brother Gabriel, I just enjoy watching football, and so every Thursday night's awesome, regardless who's playing. But I just had to put that in there.
Spiteful.
Yeah.
So we're excited. We're excited. We are not going to do another game-by-game prediction because we just did that about a month ago, and I don't think much has changed. In fact, I'm pretty dang sure our numbers aren't. So I'm just going to go ahead and go with the very first bit. We're going to be talking about the record, but not just that, but how we got there. So I'll start. I originally predicted, I have a bad habit. Now, last year I was just off. But I have a bad habit of every single year predicting the Titans do one game better than they should. Every single one of those 4, 9, and 7 seasons in a row, I said we'd go 10-6 every single one of those years, and we went 9-7. That was one win too much. Then the year we finally broke the curb there and went 11-6, I said we'd be 12-5 that year. So I was one game too positive. And then 2021, when we were 12-5, I'm pretty sure I said 13-4. So I'm always just one game too ambitious, I guess. So when I say I think the Tennessee Titans are going to go 7-10 this year, that probably means we're going to go 6-11 because I just give them this one blind fan positivity, whatever, that I shouldn't give them, but I give it to them anyway. So I think the Titans are going to win, go 6 or 7-10, probably more than likely 6-11. And the way I think this happens, I think with as young as a team as we have, minus our starting trio at wide receivers, but I'm not going to go off on Van Jefferson this time. But I think the Tennessee Titans are going to start off rough. I mean, we're going to go 0-2 more than likely, going against the Broncos and then the Rams. That's a nice little way to start off 0-2. So that's going to happen. But I think as the season goes on, Cam Ward's going to start getting more comfortable. Van Jefferson's going to start getting replaced by Alec Iomanner. I think we'll start off with an abysmal 1-7 type record, 1-5 type record, but then we start rattling off some wins halfway through the season and towards the end, where even though 7-10, not a great record, I think we'll go into the off season filled with hope, maybe false hope, but hope nonetheless. That's what I think the Tennessee Titans season looks like in a nutshell.
Yeah, I'm not too far off on you. I got us going 6-11, which is really bad. But if you think about it, that's technically doubling our wins from last year. But I say 6-11. With the possibility maybe a win or two I didn't see because hopefully Cam Ward, who is a first overall pick, will steal a game or two. So, hopefully we can maybe get 7 wins or 8 wins. But either way, I think we both don't have them being a playoff team. But yeah, I just think I just kind of like you said, I do think we're going to start off slow because we got a lot of youth. We got a lot of just different players on the team that's going to take a while to jive. Even Cam Ward, I think he's going to be okay, but I do think he's going to start off slow, especially against the Broncos defense. But I just feel like you said, we're going to warm up. We're going to do better. So and also I think like you said, the scheduling, the back end of it is a little bit more favorable, and I just feel like we're gonna get better. And then the question will come: are we better because we're just a better team, or are we better because um, yeah, actually, I was about to say, oh, teams are not taking us serious, but look, teams usually take you serious regardless what your record is coming in town. So that probably shouldn't be a thing. But yeah, so basically, I
Okay.
agree with you. I feel like the arch of this team is going to be very similar to what you said.
Yeah, which honestly could just be a technically kind of a win of a season if that's how it goes.
It's all about what Cam Ward looks like, to be honest. And because if we win 6 games, but you know what, Cam Ward looks really bad, and our defense helped us win 6 games, that's almost a lose, like more of a lose than if we won 3 games. But you know what, Cam Ward had a heck of a season. It's just maybe our defense couldn't stop anything. You know what I mean? Like, to be honest, it's more about what does Cam Ward look like at the end of the season.
Yeah, I mean that's true as well. I feel like we said this about Will Levis last year, kind of. But one thing that this season's all about is trying to find out Cam Ward.
Yep, we did say that about Will Levis, and we did find out about him.
We did, but for some reason, I guess because he threw 4 touchdowns against the Falcons, we were way too positive. High on him. Yeah. Because I didn't like the draft pick of Will Levis. I am quite literally on the interwebs giving the draft grade a D plus, I think is what I gave him. And I said the only reason it wasn't an F is because we got him in the second round instead of the first round. So I gave it a D plus. If you take away his Falcons game, he was 4 touchdowns, 4 picks as a rookie, and only won one more game after that, I believe. So sometimes I really feel like that rookie debut gave him so much leeway he never actually should have had. Because we should have been really evaluating him. Like, is he the guy or not? I feel like we kind of walked into the season being like, yeah, he's our guy, and yada, yada, yada. We're just going to move forward with Will Levis, as opposed to treating him like the inexperienced and not best product that he actually was.
Yeah.
But that's the past. Cam Ward. The season's about figuring out Cam Ward. All right, so that's the season preview. The other things I want to get into, we're going to do it with rookies, and then we're going to do it with the rest of the team afterwards. The first question, what rookie is going to surprise you the most in a good way?
Surprised me. That's a tough one because I actually have high hopes for a lot of people in this draft, to be honest. So I don't know if there'll be many people that would surprise me. Maybe DK, because I don't have much expectations for him. You know, I don't know what he's going to look like. Maybe he'll show up and be a good deep threat for us.
See, it's funny you should say that because that's the same guy I was thinking. He didn't really show us anything
he did not at all.
But it's my bedtime. But I was thinking he could end up giving us about 350 yards receiving, but then actually be a pretty decent returner.
Yeah,
and be like, possible. Oh, round pick. We just got ourselves a little bit of value out of this feller. Who do you think is going to? I was trying to say annoy you. It's not really the right word. Disappoint. There you go. Who's going to disappoint you when it comes to these draft picks, you think?
I'm going to say because everybody, and I think including you, and I to some degree, is just thinking they expect big things from him. But at the end of the day, he is a 4th round pick. But maybe we think too much highly on Alec Ayomano. Like, it could be possible he might actually come out there and just not actually be. He might play like a 4th round pick and never develop to anything. And you know, he went in the 4th round, and so that means a lot of teams passed up on him. A lot of teams saw stuff they didn't like. So it's possible this guy's not going to ever be a number 2 receiver.
Yeah, it's very possible. Someone I thought could have a disappointing rookie season, but not even really be his fault, is I could actually see Kevin Winston Jr., who might be the best player we drafted
I
this
thought
year,
about that actually.
with this deep safety room that we actually have going on. I could actually see them just slow walking him so much coming back from the ACL and just get to a point where I'm like, this dude's playing, 15 or 20 defensive snaps a game. I don't care how good you are. That's not really a lot of snaps to actually get any better. So I could easily see that being a thing.
I hate the fact that we didn't see much of him in preseason. I was kind of wanting to see, but it is what it is. I mean, I get you don't want to rush him back too fast, but still disappointing. But yeah, because I do have high hopes for him, to be honest. So yeah, he could easily be a person that, at the end of the season, you're like, he didn't really do much for us, either his fault or not.
Yeah, Femi Oladeju, I also don't expect much out of him. I think he's just going to be the first person off the bench to give Draymond Jones a break. And we'll see how that goes.
See, I can't be surprisingly disappointed in him just because I don't expect much from him at all. Still think that was a horrible second round.
Yes, we'll see. I will say I don't like us getting, when we have so many holes on our roster, I just don't like us getting a project.
Yeah, there's no reason to do a project though. No reason whatsoever.
Like this year, if you already signed Draymond Jones, you still got a year of Arden Key. Just let them dudes rock. And I know they say never draft to fill holes, but at the same time, you kind of have to sometimes, especially when you're as bad as a football team as we are. So, I mean, it's not even Femi's fault. Everybody knew Femi was a second-round talent type edge rusher, but he's also a project. We just happen to have such a horrible edge rushing group that he kind of needs to play immediately.
Yeah.
But we'll see how that goes. All right, here's my next question. We're going to do a kind of a betting type question. Setting the over and under at 1,000 yards. Will we get over 1,000 yards or under 1,000 yards between the three rookie pass catchers, Alec Iomanner, Chim DK, and Gunnar Helm? 1,000 yards.
With all three together, I really want to say yes. But every season, I always overthink yards on people. I always do. And so I'm going to actually say no.
Okay. I kind of agree with you. That's like 333 yards from each of them.
And I think Iron Man was going to get that, but I'm not sure about the other two.
Yeah. How about 850 yards between the three?
I would say yes.
You think so?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I kind of have to take the under as well on the 1,000 yards between the three of them. I would like to be wrong. I mean, because technically all you need, if you got 500 surprisingly out of one of them, then you only need 250 and 250 between the other. But I don't know. And a lot of that could also depend on Cam Ward. Honestly, a lot of that could depend on Brian Callahan, because my biggest gripe with Callahan, he loves pounding the rock.
He does.
Loves pounding the rock. Like, if we were going to run the ball that much, we should have really kept Derrick Henry.
Yeah, I agree.
Because not like he was doing like this exotic scat back type stuff.
Yeah,
Tony Pollard. He was just running that bad boy right between the tackles.
With Tony Pollard, and again, Tony Pollard was fine last year. I can't have much gripe against him, but I'd never think of Tony Pollard as just pounding it in the middle kind of running back.
And yet, he was for us, which is insane. Is there any more questions, do you think? I guess here's my last question when it comes to rookies. Who do you think is going to be our best rookie this year?
I think the easy answer to that was Cam Ward.
I agree.
Thing is, we expect, I think, big things from Cam Ward, but I guess it's possible he ends the season with, 15 touchdowns and 10 picks or something like that. And you're just like, that's possible. I hope not. Like, again, I already know we're not going to be a very good team, but I just hope we can end the season with Cam Ward. Looks like we got our guy. We have not been able to say that in a long time. And I just hope we don't end the season, which is possible. It's possible we end the season with Cam Ward. You're like, and you have an excuse for him. You're like, yeah, he wasn't great, but he didn't have much to work with, and then you have that excuse going into another season. You have to see what he looks like.
Yeah, I could easily see him ending the season with about 17 touchdowns, but like 12 interceptions.
Yeah, I think he's going to throw some double-digit picks.
I think he's going to throw double-digit picks his first game.
One thing about Cam Ward, Double digits? 10 picks?
Hmm?
In his first game?
Double digit. Oh, double digit. I'm thinking double amount, like 2.
Anyway,
Brain dead. I apologize.
no, you're good. But I was gonna say, yeah, one thing about Cam Ward is I think he's gonna have time. I am shockingly optimistic about our offensive line, and I think he's gonna have time. Now, I don't think he has a very good receiving room, but he's gonna have time, so that might help a little bit.
Yeah, it could, but I do agree with you. I'm a little bit overly optimistic about our offensive line situation. All right. Well, I think we are good with rookies because we're 15 minutes in. We've given our record. We've given our record prediction. We've given our rookie assessment. Next, all players, not including rookies, who do you think is going to be the surprise person that impresses you the most on the Tennessee Titans roster?
I'm gonna say Chig.
Chiggy, getting
Contract
Chiggy
deal,
with it,
contract deal, and he knows he has a tight end behind him that actually
breathing down his
some
neck.
fans might actually want to see him out. What?
I said breathing down his neck.
Oh yeah, sorry, I was confused about that. But yes, so I can see Chig having his best season with us. So
Honestly, I could too. In fact, I think I made a bold prediction on a short that I made somewhere or went live somewhere or something. I did something somewhere where I said I think a bold prediction is Chig Okonkwo on a contract year is going to come out. Tight ends are rookie quarterback's best friend. They're going to throw him the ball a bunch. He always finishes fast, but starts super slow. But this time he doesn't start slow. He actually goes off for like 750 yards, 5 or 6 touchdowns. But because of that, he plays himself into a big contract and then goes and plays the rest of his career, averaging 400 to 700 yards a season somewhere else. That's my personal prediction. So that's a really good answer. But another one I'm going with, and I hope that I'm right more so than you, a surprise player that's going to do really good for us, is Dan Moore, where he's not out there pancake central, but where he comes in and he's just a league average left tackle. And with that, combined with a above average right tackle play in JC Latham, for the first time since like 2020, our offensive line is not an issue. Tackles, at least.
That helps. And I also know the guy you're playing beside, big too, and he's playing against a Pro Bowl, beside a Pro Bowl. So hopefully that will help him out some too. Right? Isn't Zeitler on his side?
No.
No.
Zeitler's the right. Yeah, Zeitler's the right guard.
Okay. Gotcha.
He's Peter Skronsky.
They kicked JC Latham on the left side, right?
Right side.
Right. So Peter Skronsky is a right guard?
Peter Skronsky's a left guard. They kicked JC Latham from left to right, which is where Zeitler is. So it's Zeitler and Latham on the right side. Dan Moore's our left tackle. So he's next to Skronsky.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. So here's the hoping anyway, that's what we can get out of Dan Moore. All right. Moving on. What player that's not a rookie do you think is going to just disappoint us? Actually, I guess for my surprise, I should have said L'Jarius Sneed because that's been my take this whole season. Even if he just plays top 15 corner, I could very, 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 very easily see Sneed just comes back and plays like the Sneed of old, or at least close to it. So that's probably who I should use that for that answer. And the reason I say that is I could see that's who your answer to this question would be. But what veteran player on our team is going to just be like a surprisingly disappointing player?
Sneed is a good one. I don't have any confidence in that man. So that's a good one. I can see. Actually, I want to say Sneed. I could also say Sweat because I think we want to see him grow, top his rookie year a little bit better. But he's kind of been not doing much, but he's been fighting something. I know he's supposed to be playing, I think, in week 1, but I can see him just kind of staying the same as he did his rookie season and just really not becoming a huge part of our defense. Like, he's okay.
See, it's funny you should say that because that's literally the actual player I was going to say.
Okay.
Because he surprised everybody with how much he was able to play. He was healthy the whole season. This season, I could see because he just comes back from an injury. I'm sure you've known that he missed the whole preseason with injury.
Yep.
He should be good to go week 1, but I could see this just be a season where he can't get his conditioning right because he keeps getting hurt, and they just keep feeding off each other. And he just kind of has a season where he finishes the year with 22 tackles, maybe a sack, a pass deflection at the line, and that's his season where we're all just like, oh, okay. So I mean, hopefully not, but I could easily see that. But since you said Sweat, I'm gonna try to come up with somebody else. I'll tell you a good one. I think there's a good chance that Father Time has officially caught up with Tyler Lockett, and he gives us basically like a Tyler Boyd season where it's like
which
380 yards.
And I know Lockett is a starter, but this is my thing. I don't expect much out of him. So
yeah, we shouldn't.
If he doesn't do much, it's not like I'm gonna be like, oh, that's a disappointment. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, yeah, I agree, but at the same time, when you're just a full-time starter playing a bunch of snaps every single game and you just come away with about 380 yards, which is kind of what Tyler Boyd was. Like, Tyler Boyd was out there, but he just didn't do anything.
No.
So I don't want to, but I could see a world where we get that out of Tyler Lockett.
I agree.
All right. So now the third question. Who do you think is our best non-rookie for us this season? As far as, you don't know if you want to say with stats or if you want to say with impact. While you're thinking, I'll just throw mine out there. I'm going to say Calvin Ridley. I think this man is going to get just an ungodly amount of targets. I think if Cam Ward throws about 12 interceptions, I could see 8 of them being throwing to Calvin Ridley, where he's just double covered. There's no reason to throw that. But Calvin Ridley's going to get a crap ton of targets. So even if Calvin Ridley could have like a mid or slightly above average season, but I could see him going for 1,200 plus yards just because we're feeding him the dang ball.
That's a good one. I'm gonna say let's go. It's safe because he was good for us last year. Let's say Tony Pollard.
Good old TP.
Yeah.
We're hoping to give him a little bit of a rest to make him more fresh, but Spears is hurt.
Again. I don't expect much out of Spears anymore. I just don't think he can stay healthy.
No, he's too little.
That was a bad draft with him and Will Levis.
Yeah, I didn't like that at the time because we had Tannehill and Henry. I'm like, for the second and third round, all we did was get backups to play behind our starters.
Levis is nowhere close to being as good as Tannehill, and Tajay Spears is definitely not as good as Derrick Henry. So bad replacements.
Yeah, I agree. Spears, I think Spears is perfectly fine. He just can't get out there.
No, he can't. I mean, he literally got hurt in his first preseason game.
And he only had, I think it's only like his third carry.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I think Tony Pollard and Calvin Ridley are the Titans offense. Yeah. So there's a lot of opportunity for both of them to really fill up a stat sheet or just be good for fantasy football, which I have both of them. Some late round picks, I picked them both up. So, but anyways, next. We did the whole rookie thing, with those top 3 rookie pass catchers, top 1,000 yards or not. So let's do the same game. Leave off Calvin Ridley. Over or under at 1,000 yards will Tyler Lockett, Van Jefferson, and Chig Okonkwo top 1,000 yards combined.
Yes.
I agree, but I think it's Chig carrying that mantle.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think he'll get about.
I'm going to say Chig is going to at least, because I told you he's my guy. I think he's going to have his best season with us this year. So I'm going to think Chig's going to at least get 500. And that's at least. So that.
That's at least because he's broke that almost every season with it. I think he's 400 or 500 yards every season.
Slightly under 500 last year, maybe.
He's 487 or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I said at least Chig's going to get 500. So I'm thinking 600, maybe 700 if he really does go off this year. And if he gets 700, we're talking about 300 yards between the other two.
Yeah. Even though that said, I could easily see Van Jefferson being a 130-yard wide receiver for us.
And there's no reason for this idiot to be starting.
Let me put it this way. If by the end of September, if Van Jefferson is still getting more reps than Elikayo Manor, I'll be upset.
Yeah, I
Be
hear.
very upset. But trying to think if there's anything else I want to say in this video before getting out of here. Gave our record predictions. We gave some fun over and unders. We gave players to watch out for a good reason and players to watch out for a bad reason, both veterans and rookies.
It's hard to believe. Next video we make will be a reaction
preview.
to an... Oh, wait, that's right.
Yeah, probably Friday night or Saturday morning or Saturday night or sometime we'll have to do a preview of the Broncos. I purposely tried not to talk about the Broncos because we'll have a preview coming out. But next time you hear from us, we'll be awfully excited, which is weird because the Titans aren't going to be good this year, but we're going to be all kinds of excited getting ready to watch us get our heinies beat on a Sunday.
Yeah, right now we could be somewhat excited, but give us 5 weeks, then we'll be like, yeah, we suck.
Probably. Hey, let's be excited for as long as we can.
Yep.
You feel me?
Yep.
So you got anything else you want to say? Because I really just kind of was winging this whole thing. So if there's something else you want to like, in the spirit of talking just not preseason games, but preseason conversation before the actual games start season. Anything in that vein that you want to talk about before we get on out of here?
Not really, because to be honest, at this time of the year, I am so tired of talking about each position and each play. Like, I think this, I think that, I think we're going to be this, we're going to be that. And I'm like, I'm ready for games to start. Well, it's a little less of I think and more like talking about what they did. You know what I mean? So I'm really looking forward to this. What is our O-line going to play like together? What's Cam Ward going to look like? What's, the new receiving core going to look like? There's just so much stuff. I'm just ready to see it.
Yeah. Yep. I'm done with the previews. I'm done with the projections. I just want to start seeing actual stuff happen that actually counts and actually matters.
Exactly.
Because I'm not going to get on this side tangent or anything. I guess I will briefly. But like I thought the very first game Cam Ward played in, we were just throwing the ball every single play. Where I'm like, okay, this is kind of predictable. But then his second game was the opposite, where we were just running. Remember, we had 5 runs in a row. Do you remember that?
That was like, not even out though.
Yeah, exactly. Anybody can hand the ball off. So it's like these things are kind of not completely realistic. So I want to see an actual game plan. I want to see an actual game where stuff actually matters. And apparently, Brian Callahan had told Cam Ward, don't get touched, don't get sacked. Like, he had a little rule for him. He did end up getting sacked once, but there wasn't much he could do because he moved up in the pocket. There's nowhere to go. So basically, I think he was like, just throw it away, just slide, just do stuff. Do not get tackled or hit during this preseason. But obviously, he's not going to be like that when the season starts. So I'm excited to see what an actual game day, game plan, game everything, where this stuff actually matters with these people.
Yeah. I agree, man. I agree.
Should I be? Probably not, but I'm excited for it.
I'm just glad we got Cam Ward. If you have a season you go into it and you're going to be bad, but you don't even have a young quarterback, you're like, this Washington is going to just be boring. But at least we have a young quarterback that we hope is our future. And so win or lose, we're still going to, talk about every throw of Cam Ward and just talk about what he looks like. And that just brings some interest in the season.
And it'll be nice having more than 5 throws to talk about. We'll give him 20, 25 in his first game, and we'll have all kinds of a sample size to be able to digest and dissect and all that good stuff.
Yep.
All right. I think that's going to do it. Next time you hear from us, it'll be game weekend, and it'll be exciting. I'm pumped. You're pumped. We're going to eat all kinds of junk food and Dr. Pepper, and it's going to be just
because I was just telling my wife I need to cut back on sweets, but yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, I kind of made a fool of myself this 3-day weekend with my junk food intake as well, but not for Sundays, not for Titan Sundays. I'm going to trash myself with soda poppers and desserts and pizza and all that good stuff. So that being said, I think that's all we got. We're going to go ahead and get out of here. Thanks for watching the Titan Bros. Be sure to check out the shorts I put out. Be sure to check out the preview that's going to be coming sometime this weekend. And then the disappointed reaction of, I can't believe he threw 0 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and less than 50% completions. So make sure you're joining in to hear all of that stuff. For Josiah Pilcher, I'm Gabriel Pilcher. Tighten up, peace out, and all that jazz. Cue the music. That was just fumbled it. Hopefully Cameron Ward does not fumble the football the way I just fumbled the music.